Back in December, my wife and I took our first ever kidless trip with friends. We want to have this intentional time and create special memories with these couples that we've just come to love over the past year. So we booked a trip to Breckenridge, Colorado. Now, 2 days and 3 nights may not seem like a lot of time for a vacation. And while we would have loved to have more time out there, we were able to cram so many memories and experiences into such a short amount of time.
It started with the seamless, simple moments of driving through the mountains and experiencing views we don't typically get to see in Indiana. Being at the feet of these monstrous rocks covered in snow, watching a valley open in front of us, or driving through a mountain and exiting a tunnel into beautiful daylight. These are the moments that, while simple, feel so impactful. And don't get me wrong, I love Indiana, but you just don't get views like this there.
The first full day we were there, we spent it skiing.
Well, the rest of the group skied while I snowboarded.
For most of our group, it was the first time on skis, and for almost all of us, it was the first time skiing on a real mountain. While there was a good deal of falling and struggling from all of us, it's still an experience that we can look back on and enjoy.
We all pretty quickly learned that skiing in Colorado was a lot different than skiing in the Midwest. The trails were obviously a lot harder, but much more fun. I mean, when it takes you an hour to get down the mountain, navigating your way through multiple trails, you see so many amazing views. How could you not just want to stand the mountain all day? I think most of us came home with a desire to take our kids to the ski slopes when they get a little bit older.
That evening, we went downtown Breck for dinner and to walk around the town. These simple moments of hanging out together, eating dinner together, walking around town together, and just goofing off were probably some of the most memorable moments of the trip. And I think that's what's so special, because our memories aren't just about the big, extravagant moments, but the simple moments in between as well. And that's kind of what our group is all about. We're just living life together on a regular basis, experiencing the simple, beautiful moments of life together.
The next day was a little bit more relaxed at first. I'd like to say we slept in, but the time change had us up far earlier than expected. We went into town for brunch and even had time to explore the downtown Breckenridge scene. We found a hole-in-the-wall churros joint that had some of us exceeding our trip calorie limit quickly. After all that fun, we went back to the cabin to get ready for our next experience, one that none of us had done before, snowmobiling.
When we were planning this trip, we knew that we wanted to do two specific things: skiing and snowmobiling. With it being the very beginning of the season, we were unsure if we'd actually be able to get out on the snowmobiles. But thankfully, the week before, we got just enough snow to be able to do it. We booked a late afternoon tour around Turquoise Lake.
We started a 3-hour tour with some quick practice loops in an open field. After we all got the hang of things, we quickly moved to some wooden trails, and we got up to going 40 to 50 miles an hour. Riding a snowmobile is extremely fun, but that was only part of the tour. The other part was getting to see some of the amazing views around Turquoise Lake. We stopped at 2 different points to see the lake and the surrounding mountains. Along the way, we drove past some spectacular views and saw moose that we failed to capture on video. Towards the end of the tour, the girls finally decided they wanted to take a turn driving. So they switched over to the driver's seats. The guys just sat back and relaxed as we all experienced the final bits of the tour.
We ended the trip with one last meal together before we had to head out of town and make our way back to Indiana. While it was a short trip, it was a trip packed with many memories and experiences, and it's one that I hope we'll get to repeat again. So, what do you say, guys? Same time, same place next year?